What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia, and in this video I'm going to show you how I made this tumbler using the unicorn burst method, only I did it with fall colors. So I didn't have a chance to record how I did this. I'll explain in the end how I did it, but I kind of ran out of time. Not even kind of, I ran out of time. We just rescued 2 puppies and we've been super busy, so I've had lack of time and lack of sleep. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how I made this tumbler, and then in the end I'm going to talk to you about how I made this topper. And if you guys really insist, I will do a separate video, so let me know in the description down below. But here we are, we're going to get started. Alright guys, so I am using a 20-ounce Skinny Straight by Makerflow, and I have sanded it and prepped it with a spray paint, which is called Ivory. I think the color is Ivory. I am going to double check. It is Ivory Silk. And so I've applied about 10 mLs of epoxy over this cup. And then I went and I just showed you the colors that I'm using, and I will link them in the description down below. And I mixed them in the remainder of my epoxy. I mixed up like a batch of like 30 mLs. And I put the mica powders into them, mixed them up, and now I'm applying them by finger. And I am doing them kind of slantways on the cup. So like when you do a unicorn burst, it's painted on. I decided I didn't want to paint these colors because I had such, these beautiful mica powders, so I wanted to use these. I actually didn't like that last one that I used very much, the Larena one. So yeah, if I do this again, I would not put that one in there. But the other colors I really loved. So I am smearing them on the cup, and so there's not a lot of epoxy on here, so there's not going to be a lot of blending, which I don't want. So I want kind of that sideways slant going with the colors, and then I want to go in and blend them. But what I am going to do too is I'm wiping off my finger in between each color, because I want to make sure that I get good coverage on my colors before I start to blend. And then even when I blend, I'm going to wipe my finger each time, because I don't want too much of one color smearing into another. I just want to blend at the seams. So I keep doing this around the cup until I get the look that I want. You don't have to go all the way to the top or the bottom, because you're going to spray paint that with that same color, that Ivory Silk. So just, hit the middle. You don't even have to hit it as much as I did, or you can hit it all the way to the end. It's completely up to you, but I didn't feel the need to go all the way to the end, because there is epoxy. Everything should be smooth, and it wound up, being smooth when it was done turning. I did not use quick coat epoxy on this. I did use my regular epoxy because I wanted the work time on it, and I was afraid by using quick coat that I would run out of time. I didn't want to rush blending these colors together and getting the right amount on there so it had good coverage. So I did use regular epoxy. And make sure that when you're done also that you're going to go ahead and torch the bubbles. And also, I want to mention too, when I'm wiping my finger off, I'm doing it with coffee filters, because there is no lint with the coffee filter. So if you're going to wipe your fingers on paper towels, you run the risk of putting lint into your epoxy. So make sure you're wiping your hands with something that is completely lint free. Alright, so I'm done narrating for this part. I'm going to turn you over to some wonderful iMovie music before I'm ready for my next step. Alright guys, so this cup has been drying for like 8 to 10 hours and it's dry, it's not tacky, and so now I'm bringing it outside to spray the ivory silk on the top and the bottom. And I'm going to let that dry for at least an hour before I'm ready to move on my next step. Alright guys, so the spray paint is dry and I've got some overspray in here and I want to take some of that overspray off. So the first thing I'm going to try is 91% alcohol. We do this a lot when we're cleaning up the excess paint, when we're doing like a geode or something where we're taking paint off with the acetone, and then we clean up the rest with the alcohol. And so this is working to take off that overspray that I don't want in the middle here. And so you can, you know, take as much overspray off as you want or leave some for a better fade. It's totally up to you. And just rotate your cotton ball to make sure you're not like re-smearing the paint back on the cup. And I'm just going to speed this up because it's more of just going around the cup and getting off that overspray and just going to the top and the bottom until I get the fade that I want. So I don't really need to narrate through the whole thing. So again, you can do, you know, you can leave a little or as much as you want at the top and the bottom. It's completely up to you. It's your piece. So right here I go in and I dump the cotton ball, and then I go in with paper towel and just, you know, get, again, any extra smears from the cotton ball. And then once I'm done that, I'm ready to go right into my tacket. So I'm using Aleene's Tacket Over and Over, and I will link that in the description down below. If you're not familiar with this, it is a repositional glue. So when it dries tacky. It goes on completely white and then, or goes on white and dries completely clear. So that's how you know it's dry. It usually takes about 10 to 20 minutes to dry. It depends on the weather conditions in your craft space. So the warmer it is, the quicker it's going to cure. So just, you know, remember that dry times vary depending on the temperature and humidity in your craft space. So I'm going to go all around the cup and I'm going to get a nice even coat. I'm doing it with a thin bristle brush that, you know, will smooth it more evenly. Then I will let it dry for 10 to 15 or 20 minutes, however long it takes. But once it is clear, then I am ready to apply my glitter. I also want to mention with the Aleene's Tacket Over and Over, everybody has their own blend of water versus glue. I don't do a 50-50. I only mix a little water in, but you do whatever is comfortable for you. There is no right or wrong. Alright, so my tacket is nice and dry, and I'm going to go in with my Fresh Snow by Glitter Makes It. It is a fine opalescent white. And so I'm going to do a full glitter dump on this. I am not going to hold back. I am just going to let loose and make sure that I get full coverage on this. And I just want to mention too, another reason why you want to make sure that your tacket is nice and dry is because once you go to try to varnish this down, if it is still wet, it's going to clump up, and that's not what you want. The point of varnishing this and doing the tacket method is that you are laying this glitter flat and you're rubbing it down flat. And so when you do that, it kind of changes something with the glitter, and I don't know what the right words are, but it changes the glitter, and so that you can really kind of see through it more. So that's what you want, because you want more of those colors to come through, but you still want that opalescent of the white snow glitter. So you're going to varnish it down. You can do it with your hand, or you can do it with a glove. You can do it with a silicone brush. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. once you, like, all of the fallout glitter that's coming off of this cup, as long as it's not wet and clumping up, you can go ahead and put it back into your container and reuse it. Some people prefer not to reuse it. It's up to you. I do, but you know, it's, again, it's personal choice. So, but if you want to, it's absolutely reusable. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure this is all varnished down. Once it is varnished down, you will need to give this a seal coat. So there are a couple of ways to seal this. You can do it with Rust-Oleum's 2-time gloss clear. You can also do it with Rust-Oleum's matte, or you can use polyacrylic, and you need at least 1 or 2 coats to make sure it gets good coverage, because if you try to put epoxy on this, it is going to repel. So I sprayed this cup with Rust-Oleum's 2-time gloss clear to seal it. I did do 2 coats. I let each coat dry. Well, I let the first coat dry for 15 minutes, and then I let the second coat dry for an hour. And now I'm coming in with my epoxy. So I have mixed up 15 mLs. You don't need a lot. This cup is very, very smooth. And I'm putting it on as I normally would, making sure I got good coverage. It's nice and even. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and torch out any bubbles. Again, torch over heat gun, because torch is better at popping bubbles. Heat gun really moves epoxy around more, and I don't need to move epoxy because it's just going over colors already. So and then after that, I am going to start drizzling my next chunky glitter on, and so I will be right back with that glitter. So here it is. I'm using Glitter Makes It Ice Capades, and it is a chunky opalescent white, and it looks absolutely gorgeous on this. So, you know, it takes on the colors of whatever you're doing on top of. So, like if you're doing the unicorn burst with all of those pastel colors, it's going to take on this pastel hue. But now that I'm using it with these golds and these coppers and these oranges, it's taking that on. It's doing exactly what I wanted to do. It looks gorgeous. So once you're done sprinkling this on, and I sprinkle it because I want full control, make sure that it's all flat, and then let this cure for about 8 hours before you move into another coat of epoxy. All right, guys, this has 2 coats of epoxy. I am absolutely loving this. I'm so glad that I tried this. So I decided I'm going to just put a decal, something simple, and I choose just to put fall vibes on here on top of a maple leaf. And I used this holographic vinyl, and it's like that reddish to gold. And then I did the fall vibes and a holographic orange. So I am going to just place this in the center of my cup. And push this down. Make sure it's varnished really good. Peel this off. Oh, that is so pretty. I love it. All right, so I'm going to put another coat of epoxy on this, and the cup will be done, except for the lid that I'm going to be working on, and I think I'm going to do that in another video, but it'll be part of this. So, all right, I'm going to epoxy this, and I'll be back for my final remarks. All right, guys, so this tumbler is done. I'm really happy with how this came out. I'm so glad that I tried this with these colors. Super, super pretty. I can't wait. You know what? I'm going to do one for Christmas too. I think it's going to look really, really gorgeous. So this topper. So what I did was I used hot glue on top of the lid. So I took the little plastic piece out that slides back and forth. So yeah, this is not a practical lid once you've done all this to it. But if you want something that's cute, go ahead and knock yourself out. But just know it's not practical. So I put hot glue down here, so I kind of like leveled it off. Then I went in and I glued my pumpkin down and my little pine cone and my acorn, which I'm gonna link in this description down below. I got these pumpkins from Joann's, and these 2 came from Michael's. And so I was browsing through, I guess, the flower section or the fall section, and they had these as, like, you know how they sell the little flower bundles? Well, this was kind of the same thing. So I don't know if you can find this. I'm sure you can find it online. I'm going to look and see if I can find it and then link it. So, and then I glued these down with hot glue. I got butterfingers. And I went in with my glitter called Autumn Leaves. Glitter Makes It sells them. And here they are. And they're so super cute, and they're perfect for this because it's leaves, you know, it gives a leaf bed going on. So what I did was I went in and I put UV resin down, and then I put like a clump of leaves and I spread them out where I want to, and then I put a little bit of UV resin over top and I hit it with my UV light, and I did that all around until I was happy with it. Then once I got the leaves all where I wanted, then I went in with another layer of UV resin on top to make sure that these leaves were all sealed down. So you can see that. So that's how I did this lid. If you guys want, I will do a tutorial on this, a separate lid tutorial, but again, I just didn't have time to do it this week. It's been absolutely insane. You know, kids going back to school, and I have an ear infection. It's really weird. I don't know where I got it from. So I've been kind of under the weather as well. So, but I wanted to get this video done for you guys and post it Thursday morning like I always do. So here it is. I absolutely love this. I hope you guys love it too. I hope you're inspired to do something similar with similar colors or your own colors. Make sure you check the description down below for links to the products that I used or where you can find them. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe, share. Subscribing really helps me, guys. Please, please, please subscribe. And that is it for this video. I will see you all next time. Bye.